Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're repackaging. It's June the 8th, Sunday. I just came in from working outside. It is blazing hot out there. I need a break, so I'm going to work on my food repackaging. We got a bunch of free containers from our neighbor, a different neighbor this time, but great containers, and I have some things that need to get repackaged right away, so I'm going to take care of that. Ashley, why are you repackaging your food? For those of you who haven't seen our food repackaging videos, I try to do everything I can to not pay for food repackaging. I was doing that in the beginning about 4.5, 5 years ago, and it was costing a fortune. I do use oxygen absorbers because they remove the oxygen. That's the one thing I do invest in as far as my packaging goes. But everything else has pretty much come from neighbors and friends giving us free containers that they were going to throw in the trash. So do yourself a favor, friends. Ask your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers if they'll save containers for you. If it's a certain container you want, if you only want glass containers, ask them for glass containers. They don't need to know why. Just tell them you need them and they will save them for you. Most everyone is happy to help one another out, especially when they can help you with something they're just going to put in the trash anyway, and you get excited about it when they bring it to you. Oh, wait until you see the smile on your friends' faces then. They are really happy to do it. So don't be shy, don't be embarrassed. Ask friends, neighbors, and coworkers to save containers for you. And you know what? Let's just get repackaging so I can show you why. Friends, we have a lot of free packaging ideas and free packaging given to us from our friends. We are going to start with this bag, and I know you all can see it, the classic Folgers containers. These are awesome. They're awesome for gardening. They're awesome to use in the shop for nuts and bolts and things of that nature, but they're good for food repackaging as well. I have done everything from rice, beans, sugar, flour, all of it in these type of containers, and they've been fine. But you have to be careful if you have rodents. Rodents can eat through absolutely anything except glass and stainless steel. I mean, for real. So if you have rodents, you really want to avoid plastics. And if you have rodents, you want to learn how to get rid of them so you can use some plastics, okay? So we've got this Folgers container. So happy to have it, especially since we're not buying this anymore. What do we have here? This is a green chili container. Everything's been run through the dishwasher. How sweet was she? So we've got that. We've got this potato salad container. These type of containers, honestly, I use for leftovers the most and for freezer storage because they work fabulous. So I think I might be using this because I've got a bunch of bell peppers and onion that I need to cut up for the freezer, and something like this would be perfect for that. What else do we have in here? We have another green chili container, and come on, what in the world? Oh, I love these. Perfect for the freezer. I know where she got this. She got this from the farmer's market from Our Lady. She had banana pudding in these little containers. Delicious. I know that's where this came from. Now, as always, glass is the best option for long-term food storage, okay? It just is. Nothing can get through this, okay? Using this with oxygen absorbers, you are guaranteed to keep your food fresh in almost any circumstances, okay? But gathering enough glass jars can be difficult. But we got some new ones. I've never had this Frank's sauerkraut jar. That's an awesome jar. This jar, I know exactly what I'm going to use for, so let me put it down here. And then another Classico jar. Love having these, especially the ones that have measurements. I have a bunch of beans and rice, lentils here that need to get repackaged. I already repackaged, these are hydration tablets. You can take like up to 10 or 20 a day. It's if you have extreme leg cramps, you know, if you're dehydrated, that's what these type of deals are. Let me show you. I have these in a regular Ziploc. Let me see if I can let you see. See, it's called Medi-Lite, okay? And it is for severe dehydration. Like I said, if you're having leg cramps, pardon my hands, I've been working in the garden. But we have a bazillion, I think like 500 of them. We actually purchased these from Costco forever ago. And I want to be able to get them out of the trailer. So I used this container that had these chocolate covered almonds in them, which also came from our friend. Thank you very, very much. She also gave us this planter's container. I think I'm going to put some beans in that maybe. I repackaged, this is the last of our mullein from last year. So this is mullein tea. We can use it at any time, but this is the very last of it. So I repackaged it in this smaller container. These are just my oxygen absorbers. See how I have them packed in there with rice? That's so they don't have to work so hard, okay? You need to keep the jar filled, otherwise they're just going to be working and they're not going to be as beneficial to you when you go to use them. This is a container that had beans in them that I used, so I need to get that refilled again. And this honey. Now, I was watching Karen Williams. Karen, if you're watching, you're so smart. And she repackaged her honey in a nice glass, well, she had a very fancy glass container, okay? I'm going to repackage mine into a glass container as well. Why am I leaving it in the plastic when I don't have to? And this lid, and it's very difficult to squeeze honey out of this. I always take the lid off completely to get my honey out. And I think putting in this would be even easier because then I can just use a spoon to spoon it out. So Karen, thank you very, very much for making that observation and telling us all, why are we leaving things in plastic when we have the ability to put them in glass, especially things like honey that we buy in bulk that's going to sit in this for a long time because the plastics will start to leach inside of that honey. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me show you all this repackaging when I'm done. All right, friends, I've got everything repackaged. Here's the honey. I mean, it is filled to the tippy top, but as you can see, I still have quite a bit more in here, but I have this little jar, which is going to be perfect to hold all the rest of this. And let me tell you, getting this transferred, that took a long time, about 45 minutes, no joke. So I'm glad we have it out of this container and we don't have to deal with this teeny tiny spout anymore. I'll get the rest of that transferred in a little bit. Now, we had 2 pounds of pintos. In here, we have about a 1/4 pound of pintos and 1 3/4 pound of pinto beans in here with oxygen absorbers. Our lentils are in here, which is about 3/4 pound of lentils with oxygen absorber. The remainder are in here. Now the lentils I'll use probably for sprouting, and then these pinto beans I'll just add to my next container that I put back, or we'll go ahead and cook them. We already talked about the mullein. We've got the rice here. This is actually 2 1/2 pounds of rice, and I do have oxygen absorbers in there. We already talked about these guys, and I just wanted to add that every time I remove oxygen absorbers from my container, I add more rice to fill up the gaps because we really want to keep the oxygen from hitting these. They're not cheap, and that's how we can assure that they're going to be usable. There you have it, guys. Sorry it's been a minute since we did an actual repackaging video, but I'm going to repeat everything that I always say. Talk to your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, because do you see what we've gotten? And this is from our neighbors, our friends, our coworkers. They always give us awesome containers. It's not always going to be glass, but that's okay. We will take what we can get. And as we get more glass containers, we can actually transfer things out of plastic containers and into glass containers. But do yourself a favor, no matter what, when you bring home the packages like this, get them into something else, especially if you have a rodent issue, potential rodent issue, or any kind of pantry, bugs, moths, whatever the possibilities could be. Make sure you're protecting your investment. Our food right now, this is an investment. It's getting very expensive. They're shrinking the packaging on everything. Every single bit of food that we get, we need to make sure that we eat. We do not waste at all, so we need to protect it. All right, friends, let me know how you're protecting your food. Have you asked neighbors and coworkers and friends? Please let me know your experience, because this has saved our life and our food supply, because we could not have afforded to buy all the fancy schmancy repackaging things. We did at first. We were buying the Mylar and all those things, but the food prices have gotten to where we would rather be spending our money on the food than the packaging. All right, friends, give us a thumbs up, subscribe and share, and we are going to be talking to you really soon. God bless and keep every single one of you.